You've mentioned that we are living under fiscal constraints, and taking that into consideration and looking at the well-being of our West Sacramento residents, how can you maintain and continue to improve their lives as we move
Well, think about the average person. The average person in West Sacramento is probably lives in a home that's underwater. They're working in a job that's somewhat precarious, or they may have just lost their job. They've got a lot on their plate. There's a lot of young families in West Sacramento. They've got their hands full. They have just enough time to get out of the house, go to work, do what they can there, come back and go to sleep. And so what are their concerns? Their concerns are, when I come home, I want to make sure my house isn't burned down. They want to make sure that that party down the street stops, because it's disrupting my life. They want to make sure that the foreclosed home next door is mowed and taken care of so it doesn't detract from their value. They want to make sure, the streets are clean, the garbage is picked up. Those are the things that people are most concerned about. I think in general people like the big development that's going on in West Sacramento, but in general people, I think it's about potholes. It's about, and that really to me means you've got to be responsive to those needs as city council. I mean, it's really down to the ground stuff. It's not, there's obviously some policy issues that we deal with as we move toward a general plan. Policy issues on, for example, the green building ordinance that we just enacted, and how far above Calgary we wanted to go. There's policy issues on how we use our redevelopment. Most people, don't see that. They want to come home. They want to make sure their kid is doing good in school. There's a good school to go through. They want to make sure there's no crime in their neighborhood, and those are the big issues. They want to make sure that if their grandmother has a heart attack, that there's a response within a reasonable period of time. A lot of this other stuff, yeah, they hear about it, but most people, what's going on? Well, I know there's a port there, but it's kind of far away from most people. But then you also have the people that do business here that are really concerned about that stuff, and they're just as important as the people that live here. So on the business side, you want to make sure that we've got we're economically competitive. Our fees are regionally in line. We've got a city staff that's courteous, that can process applications and respond to the business concerns as well. So those are you have people that work here, the people that live here. Different concerns with both, but as city council we were elected at large. So my concern is not only what happens with the Sikh community, but what happens with the people that are developing solar panels at the port, the whole range. And as a port commissioner, I'm involved with how the port's proceeding and the economics of the port. And of course, I want to pursue the green highway that we're doing to keep trucks off the road. A lot of the other things we're doing to green the port there. So, there's a lot of little things that I think are my priorities and things I think I can do. It's one of these things that I don't go after the huge big splashes. What I've done consistently through my term is looked at the little things that make a difference, real difference to people. Of course we do have the big projects, but I think in general people are more interested in someone who's more down to earth and responding to their needs.
And do you have anything else you'd like to add before we wrap it up? We've included all our questions here.
About the green communities or
anything that.
Well, yeah, I think I support the Democratic platform, the 2010 platform. I think I've been on the Central Committee now for officially this time for probably less than a year. Then informally I was attending the meetings and I was on it before that time. So I've been involved with the Central Committee at length. I've been involved with Democratic causes really when I started with Bill Bradley's campaign when he ran for president. And of course over time, I've been involved with Democratic issues through the Central Committee and also helping build more of a Democratic presence in West Sacramento through trying to get the club situation straightened out and get more people engaged. And now I think with this headquarters, we're really looking forward to really getting people engaged and give them a reason to be involved. So I'm looking forward to another 4 years in City Council. There's a lot of things that I've started that I think I can continue. I think I'm a good addition to City Council. We've got a lot of issues in terms of greening the port, which I think is the thing about greening West Sacramento and greening the port. It used to be that it was kind of anti-business, and there wasn't a lot of business support. But now, what's happened because of the cooperation and collaboration we've had with the business community, particularly this green ordinance that we've just instituted, there's huge buy-in now with the business community because we were able to brand ourselves as a green community. And I'm very excited about that because I totally buy into the AB 32 and the retooling of California toward a green industry, because I think what you're seeing is huge opportunities, particularly somewhere like West Sacramento that has basically, I think, one of the top 10 research universities now in Davis, and we've got the whole commercial aspect in Sacramento. We're very well situated to do green incubator businesses, to biotech, and pursue some of the other higher value-added type business. So, yeah, I'm really excited, and I'm glad to have been a part of it for the last 3 years, and I'm really looking forward to the next 4.
Can you do a commercial right now about why people should vote? Why is the fall elections important for people to vote?
Well, my biggest fear is that because of the nasty primary and because of the increasingly nasty general election, people are going to get turned off. What happens, and this happens during times of proposition pushes, for example, Proposition 8, that you have propositions that are going to be on the ballot, and a very few number of people are going to determine the course of California. If nothing else, take a look at the propositions. Now, my view is that you can't complain if you don't vote. And I think it gets back to what I've been doing in the community, is getting people engaged, giving people a stake in their community, and saying, look, you've got to get up and vote in November. Look at what happened to the presidential race with Al Gore. Nationwide, what was it, less than 100 votes? We've had votes. I was elected by a slim margin when I was elected. And if it wasn't for those extra people that came out, I wouldn't be here today. So, I'd say for people, take a look at the issues early. Take a careful look at those propositions, because those are could be very, very damaging to us. Don't let that happen. Don't let a small group of proponents of these propositions push that into law. For me, that's the biggest fear. And of course, gubernatorial, we're all Democrats, and of course we all want to see the Democrat candidates win. And I just don't see a Republican governor coming in and being able to do anything. I know it becomes very partisan at that point, but practically you got a Democratic legislature to deal with, and you're going to need a Democratic governor to deal with those people. So, I think California is on the right track. We've got some structural issues definitely we need to take care of, but don't sit on the fence. Vote one way or the other, but just get out and vote and think about it.